Your station for new and original, raw and uncut talent. Talk, politics, and music.
Cha 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 cha. Yeah. Mic check, mic check. Yeah, I had to make sure we was pretty good. You ready, B? I bet I'm getting a thumbs up. Welcome to Politics as usual. This is Eric Wright. I'm here with another week of information, top stories, things that I think that we need to talk about as black people. You know, like the book I wrote a few years ago, Politics as usual. We're going to filter through the bullshit and make sure we have that conversation to see where we sit at. So, speaking to the black community, we had a big loss lately. This guy that I want to start the show off with, I want to give this guy some flowers. You know, um, you may not know how big he was in your upbringing or where you seen him at or whatever, but I'm gonna share something with you. So, we had a person that passed away, and this person has over 30 movies that's been produced, over 50 shows. 50 shows. Matter of fact, let me go through some of the shows that he's been in. Like you know his movies. You know Chef. Everybody knows Chef. My favorite movie that he ever made was OG Original Gangsters. You know what I'm saying? I love Sheba Baby in there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that. But going through a few cameos he had, a few roles he had on shows that was very impactful on probably a lot of our lives. And we probably don't even realize that he was on those shows. So just going through them. Roots. Y'all remember Roots, Kuta Kente and all that. Like he was in Roots. The Love Boat. Bring y'all back to the 80s. Chips. Remember those. Magnum PI. Murder She Wrote. The Beauty and the Beast show. He was on Bonanza. He was on Hanging with Mr. Cooper. He was on A Different World, Touched by an Angel, Dr. Quinn, Soul Food, and Grey's Anatomy. Man, that's one bad mother. Shit, I'm only talking about Richard Roundtree, man. R.I.P. to that guy. A damn pioneer. A pioneer. R.I.P. You will be missed. So let's go ahead and jump on into some news and some topics that I want to bring up. Speaking of somebody that passed away, there was another person that passed away recently. This was in Memphis. There's a person that, how he grew up, a poor kid. He didn't even have money to go to college or nothing. So his teachers and his professors got together, principal, and they paid for his tuition to go to Howard University. And he graduated from Howard, went to Vanderbilt, and became an attorney. And what did he do soon as he became an attorney? He went back to Memphis, of all places. Of all places, he went back to Memphis. He ended up being on the Housing Authority Board for a number of years. Even fought a few cases against the Beale Street management. Anybody ever been to Memphis, been on Beale Street, so you know how that go. So he was one of those guys, a fighter, a real fighter. And I had the pleasure of looking this guy up and knowing about him from 2014. Where we're connected is we both ran for Congress that year in 2014. We both were unsuccessful in our run, but that passion that we both shared, it did one thing to us. It showed us something that was similar, that we needed to talk to our people. We need to talk to the people that look like us to actually get a political movement going on to represent actually us. Now, I may have did it through literature, but this guy, he did it through political action. He made a political action committee, and he created it. It was called Empower. It was aimed to help black people in Memphis harness their political power together. Now, this guy fought for years for justice, peace, and equality in Memphis. And sad to say that Ricky Wilkinson died just a few days ago. He was 58 years old. And just to leave you with a quote from him. He said, I've always been a kid who had to climb mountains in my life. He said, I'm accustomed to climbing mountains. I don't just see them as difficulties or impossibilities. I look at them as challenges that I will overcome. Shout out to Ricky Wilkinson Esquire. You know, you always be remembered in the black community, no matter what state you're in. This is politics as usual, and this is why I bring this up. People that's pushing the thought process for our community to actually figure out what our political agenda is. You know, so shout out to Ricky Wilkinson. All right, I got a story from Alabama for you. Now, this story comes from around Bessemer, and the headline reads: Dollar General pays $1 million in a settlement. Yeah, Dollar General pays $1 million in a settlement. Now, what the hell was Dollar General doing in the state of Alabama, in Bessemer of all places? We all know Bessemer. You really don't play with no folks in Bessemer. They'll probably hurt you, you know. So they lucky they just got to pay $1 million, because I know some cats in Bessemer will probably put you down. But this is what they did in Bessemer. So according to the lawsuit, Dollar General was requiring applicants to pass a pre-employment medical exam. During the exam, they're required to disclose past and present medical conditions of the family members, such as cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. Everybody know that shit is illegal as hell. Ain't nothing about that right. You can't disclose that information. You can't even ask nobody to disclose that information. Everybody know that shit is illegal. So this is what the attorney said from the EEOC of the Birmingham district. I think their name was Rucker. They said employees cannot be denied employment solely based on stereotypes about abilities of the individual with certain impairments. You know, this is what happened. It was 498 applicants. 498 people in Alabama was denied jobs. They was denied jobs, and this how they did it. If anybody signed up for a job that had high blood pressure or their vision was at least 20/50 in either eye, they absolutely did not get a job. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give a shout out to them 498 people that got their meal. You know what I mean? Don't come to Alabama with that bullshit. You know, support your people. Like this stuff going on in our backyard. Before I get to the next topic, I want to throw this out there. On the 27th of October, Zykush Apothecary and Herbal Sanctuary is having its fifth annual. It's fifth. 5 years. 5 years we've been doing this. Fifth annual Hunted Trail. So if your kids been bad as hell and you want to give them a good scare, if you want to run them to sleep, like this is the place you need to be. Come out on the 27th. We're going to be here from 7 o'clock. From 7 o'clock until about 11. Make sure you wear some good running shoes. If you got a wig, make sure it's tucked in real good. I know a few people left their wigs before. If you're a dude, you know what I'm saying, you got a lady, try not to take off running and leave your lady screaming. Also, if you're a dude that play hard, you know, you get scared, don't try to fight. You know what I'm saying? It's all love and game for the kids, baby. You know, so October 27th, Zykush, that is on Narrow Lane Road here in Montgomery, Alabama. So if you want to come out and want to see some things, support the brother, be there. All right, getting right back to it. Now we want to talk about a few things that's happening with the justice system, but also with parenting. I'm going to bring out a topic for you. So this is something that happened. I saw these headlines come up a few days ago. The first one read, it was a 14-year-old that shot his mother dead. And she had a boyfriend. Wounded in the boyfriend, he got hit too, but he actually survived. Now, according to the police and you know what I'm saying the local news station, he's already been charged with second degree murder, first degree premeditated attempted murder, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The sheriff said that this scene was one out of nightmares, an absolute heartbreak. The family's life is forever changed. A victim's life was taken, and because of the actions, the suspect life, as he know it, is over. So this is what happened with the 14-year-old, and the 14-year-old was a young black child too. You know, around the same time, and probably a few hundred miles away, there was a white Latino child, 13-year-old, stabs his mother to death. This was also in Florida. Stabs his mother to death, and his mother just had a baby. Recently, just got released from the hospital, a brand new newborn. The 13-year-old stabbed his mother to death, called the 911, and spoke to the 911 representative and told them that he killed this mother, but he didn't kill his baby sister. And the 911 person, like, they were so quick on their feet and under that stressful condition, they was able to talk to him. He asked, will the police kill me when they get here? She said, no, they're going to be there to help you. We're there to help. You know, the police showed up. The phone call was still on, 18 minutes that they got there, and they detained the child. But that is all the story. We don't know the charges. We don't hear that it's a horrendous crime, because any loss of life shouldn't be done, and it is horrendous. And we really have to look at, are we really giving our young boys the coping mechanisms they need? Are we giving them the tools to conflict resolution for them to be able to diffuse certain situations and not go to these things? I feel that we have went in a direction, and I'm talking to my people now. We went into a direction that we're not equipping young boys with the mental fortitude to deal with life as it actually is. As a parent, we want to give our children everything, and we don't want them to feel the dramas and the hardships of what we felt. But our ultimate goal, our number one goal, is to prepare them for the world that they actually live in. And this is two examples where these young boys wasn't prepared for the life they actually live in and the consequences behind it. I do see the differences in how they was reported. With one, there was charges, there were statements, there was all of this, and with the other, it was just the 911 call, and the representative being the good person that she was, like, she was able to calm him down to make sure the baby was safe. But other than that, we heard nothing else about the crime, and that was more brutal because it was a stabbing. You know, that sounds way more brutal than someone just getting shot in the instant. Remember, this is to politics as usual. We bring out the information, you come to your own conclusions. You know, if you can't filter through the bullshit, you always get lost.